also pledged to end Eotian domination. With Zainal's first efforts so successful and Botany safe, the colonists were more than ready to follow his leadership. To continue his efforts to free not only his own people, but also Earth's, a special mission was sent to Earth, where an active underground movement already was eroding Catteni occupation. In Freedom's challenge, Zainal risks his life in a bid to destroy the EOC with the help of the dissident Catteni hierarchy, and wins for Botany its freedom and the freedom of other enforced colony worlds inhabited by humans. But that was the first phase of his plan. Kris knows Zainal well enough to understand that he still intends to make contact with the farmers and discover their home world. But that wish is yet again interrupted when the colonists discover that most of the technical materials they need have been looted from Earth and are now stored on Barevi. As the Barevan merchants insist on being paid to surrender the loot, Zainal and Kris must again face the necessity of leaving Botany and finding a way to ransom the materials they desperately need to help both Earth and Botany. Chapter 1. Cameton's messenger came in a baby-type fast scout, and Jerry Short, the duty officer in the hangar, immediately informed Zainal of its request to land and imminent arrival. Zainal, in turn, called Kris, Peter Easley, and Dorothy Duardi as members of the Botany Management Board to join him. He had good relations with Cameton and wanted to keep everything above board, Kris's often-used idiom for openness. He recognized the call sign of the scout as one that Cameton frequently used, so he was somewhat prepared for bad news, but did not warn the others, preferring that they take whatever news came with this messenger without any predisposition. It might not be bad news. But why else would Cameton be sending a messenger, which suggested something he did not wish broadcast on the Botany comm lines? Cameton had chosen a nephew of Zainal's, firstborn son of Zainal's favorite sister, which confirmed Zainal's premonition that the news was bad. As Kris often did, she compared the new arrival to her beloved Zainal. She did not expect any familial resemblance, although she noticed as the young man, probably in his mid-20s, approached, that he was slightly shorter than Zainal, but still tall for a Catteni. He had the heavy build of the true Catteni, born and adapted to its heavier gravity. His grayish skin and yellow eyes were expectable. Zainal's Botany tan altered his skin tone to a more vibrant shade of taupe and made Paxel seem drabber by comparison. But it was in the features that the main difference was plainly visible. She had always liked Zainal's nose, which was not as fleshy as most Catteni. Certainly, Zainal's mouth was better shaped, not as thick as Paxel's, and far more flexible, often giving her hints as to his mood. It was severe enough right now, though. She noted the little flattening of his lips, indicating that he found this situation disagreeable and wanted to get it over with as soon as possible. She suspected then that he was anticipating a problem. So, in his capacity as one of the governors of Botany, Zainal greeted his nephew Paxel affably and offered him coffee, a great new favorite for Catteni. Paxel grinned, showing 3 gold caps, a sight that caused Kris to have to hide an astonished grin. Zainal covered her astonishment by introducing Paxel, name and rank, first to Duardi. "This is a sister's firstborn, Imasi Paxel. I make you known to eminent Duardi and my mate, excellent Lady Imasi Kris, and Peter Easley." He reached for the message, which Paxel somewhat reluctantly handed over. It bore Cameton's name, plus the characters that confirmed that Kubalin and Nitin were at least aware that a message had been sent to him. That did not bode well. He waved Paxel to a chair at the table in the hangar office, then he broke the seal and could not suppress a grunt of dismay. When he had digested its import, he tossed the letter across the table to Kris, who could read some Catteni, though probably not all the diplomatic terms and courtesies. The gist of the message stood out as if written in red. "Barevi merchants will not surrender any Terran retrieved by the EOC or Catteni captain, stolen without payment." Paxel's eyes had mirrored astonishment that Zainal had given the message first to Kris rather than to Peter. Very few Catteni women were ever consulted on matters of significance.
"You mean they need a bribe to give us back anything?" she demanded, outraged. "And sent your sister's firstborn with the news so you wouldn't kill him out of hand?"